What's up, gamers and news watchers? Today is a special episode on why kids should not be allowed to play adult content video games. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a difference between violence in video games and adult content. Violence is like Mortal Kombat, which, yeah, you should probably monitor that as well, but you're not going to see anybody throw anyone up in the sky and then blow their arms and legs and head off with the lightning bolts out of their hands, because you can't even fake that, because it's not going to happen. But I'm not nearly as concerned about that kind of violence as I am the Grand Theft Auto type violence. You may argue that it's fake as crap, you can take shots like a champ, jump in a car, get away, and do it again. When you get arrested, you just come out of jail, you die, you just respawn. It doesn't matter. Kids don't understand the concept of reality, death, and being arrested. Let me tell you a true story about when I was a kid. I was coming home from church camp with my brother and sister in a van, and in this van had big windows. And in the back in this day, we didn't have all these laws of, oh, you have to be strapped in a seat and blah, blah, blah. We just kind of were hanging out loosely in the back of the van. Well, on the way home through the country, we were stopped by two police officers saying that we had to turn our van around because a tornado was coming in our direction. Sure enough, we turned around, and by this time it was visible. You could see this thing coming at us in the distance. My brother, he was a little bit nervous. My sister, she was on the floor hiding and crying with her friend. They were both hiding and crying. They didn't want to see it. But me, I just watched out the window in awe because I thought it was cool looking, and I didn't understand the concept of death. I didn't realize that if that tornado had hit our van, our lives could cease to exist. I was about 6 years old. That relates to this story, as this kid I'm about to tell you about has no idea how serious reality is. A 7-year-old boy named Luterian Milton, who took the keys off the counter of his grandmother's house because he was mad at his mom, he drove off in her Dodge Durango. This kid had drove several miles before he was finally caught, and he wasn't even caught, he was wrecked. The local authorities had gotten calls about an SUV driving with the driver looking too short to see over the steering wheel. By the time they reached his location, he had already run over 2 mailboxes, hit 2 parked cars at a Costco parking lot, also struck 2 moving vehicles outside of a Walmart, and then hit a curb and ran into a sign, which ultimately stopped his little parade. His joyride was nothing short of chaotic. Here's what he had to say for himself.
I want to do it because it's fun. It's fun to do bad things. To drive into a car.
But did you know that you could perhaps kill somebody?
Yes, but I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friends.
You don't think you should be punished for all of this?
Just a little bit, no video games for a whole weekend.
Take note of what he said. He said, I want to do bad things because it's fun. When asked if he knew he could kill someone, he said, yes, but I wanted to do hood rat things for my friend. When asked if he feels he should be punished, he said, not really. Maybe no video games all weekend or something. Holy cow, kid. If that's all the punishment you get, I will lose faith in humanity today. See, when I was a kid, our M-rated games were Mortal Kombat. That was as bad as it got. We didn't have the excessive cursing, the theft of cars, shooting of innocents, and whatnot. Don't get me wrong, I played GTA 5 and Saints Row, and I think those games are fun, but I'm a 32-year-old man that understands the cause and effects of my actions. A 7-year-old boy has no way of knowing how serious this is and how much worse it could have been. I guarantee you, if you look in this kid's video games collection, he has Grand Theft Auto, or his friend who does. Somebody's got it. He's playing it. Or Saints Row. He didn't build blocks to jump up on them like he was pretending to be Mario. He didn't dress up in a Sub-Zero outfit and punch random people in a Walmart to try to start a fight and have somebody say, round one. No, he chose to steal a car and cause thousands of dollars in damage. You may think, well, this isn't my problem. That's some kid I don't even know. That's where you're wrong. It is your problem. This kid's going to grow up someday, and he's going to learn to respect life or not. He's going to continue to be a nuisance if he doesn't. And then he may have kids of his own, and they will be more likely to have equal or worse views on life than he does, and then we have an entire generation of degenerates worse than we already do. This kid knows he could have killed somebody, but he doesn't understand why that is as bad as it is. I didn't understand death at that age. I remember going to my aunt's funeral and I didn't get it. I cried because my mother cried, but for my aunt at that time, I felt nothing of the pain because I didn't understand that she was gone forever. So if you have kids, please, please, teach them the values of life. Monitor the things they put into their minds. If you have to wear a headset with whatever, if you have to wear a headset when gaming on a mature rated game with the TV turned away from the kids so they can't see or hear your mature rated stuff, do that. Take the extra time to read books to them. Teach them about life. Don't rely on a TV and video games to raise your kids, because this is the kind of mess you get when you do. As for the stores, I don't know, maybe we should have an adults only section to rent games and buy games of mature ratings. We already have it to rent and buy mature movies. They don't allow Debbie Does Dallas to be out there on the shelf next to Super Mario World. So, out of sight, out of mind. So the last thoughts I want to leave you guys with are, do you think this is an isolated incident? Do you think this is something that just is a fluke and it's not going to happen again? Or do you think this is a direct result of the things we're putting out in our media and the things we're letting our kids see from the media and the entertainment and whatnot? Do you think this could have been avoided, or do you think this is just one of them things? Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Everything is turning blasphemy. My ears are running cold. The air is standing straight up. This is not the way